Hello, and welcome to the Her Story, My Story podcast. This is your host, Abby.
And Jayne, shalom, fam.
And today we are here with two very special guests, Gwen and Hamp Stokes. So let me go ahead and let them introduce themselves. Gwen, Hamp, tell us a little bit about yourselves, why you are here, when did you get here? Go ahead.
Hello, I am Gwen, and this is my husband.
Yeah.
So, and we are from the States, Little Rock, Arkansas, and we arrived here in Rwanda November of 2023. And so we've been here now a little bit over a year.
Going on to
Going on to in November will be 2 years. Wow. Yeah. So
Counting.
yes.
2023,
Uh-huh.
24, 25, we in 2026 now. Wow.
Yes. So we arrived here with my mother. We have a daughter who is 24 this year. I have a brother and a sister-in-law who came here. And so I guess for them it will probably be yes, close to a year because I believe they came in September and we followed their trail and arrived here in November. So,
Awesome.
mhm.
That's fantastic. That's wonderful. And can you tell us what are you guys doing here on the continent?
well, let me kind of back up a minute because it actually started a little bit before we came in, was in November. Actually, in 2023, Rail and I were talking about bringing the wives and looking at Africa. And then actually, you back up some more in 2015. Some of the family members, we brought it up and said, hey, what do y'all think about going to Africa? And because of the propaganda we were getting in the States about Africa, poverty, sickness, famine, disease, we were like, we ain't lost nothing in Africa, forget it. So we flushed it. Then in 2023, it came back up. We were in a different position, a better mindset. I was retired. And so it said, hey, what do y'all think about Africa? So, hey, let's take a look. So everybody got online, went to Google and started Googling every country in Africa. So, there's 54 of those countries. So if any of them had anything close to what the West was like, and then if they had like corruption, the safety wasn't good, your money didn't go where it needed to go, or go, you could use your money a little bit better, they were crossed off the list. So a lot of the major, I guess we'd say metropolitan areas in Africa, we decided, no, that's not going to work for us. So then the next criteria was because I'm a post-kidney transplant patient. I wanted to be somewhere that could at least take care of me, or I had access to get out quick enough to be taken care of. So that eliminated me most of the, should I say, the coastal countries because it was too hot. And because of my medication, I'm sun sensitive. So that just eliminated those for me as much as I would have liked them. But so everything kept coming back to Rwanda. We said, what about this one in Rwanda? Rwanda wins. What about this country in Rwanda? Rwanda wins. What about this country in Rwanda? Rwanda wins.
Yes.
And so it came down to Tanzania, or most people would say, Americans may say Tanzania, and Rwanda. Well, we had met a couple online who are here in Rwanda, Swat and Sentali. Is it
Shout
Sentali?
out to SWAT and
Yeah,
Centali.
Sentali,
Yes.
yeah. And so they were instrumental in helping us come when we came for the visit.
Wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, they had a wealth of knowledge. And so we wind up buying property out by them because they showed us theirs. And we were like, oh my gosh, that's nice and beautiful. So we came, Terrell and I came in, was it August?
It was
May,
no, I think
May,
it was like April,
April, yeah,
May.
April of 2023. And we started seeing the transformation when we got to Brussels.
Mm.
We got to Brussels and I was like, oh, wow. It was beautiful Black people, getting on the plane. And, us being from America, you get a lot of Black people in one spot. you tend to think something's gonna happen, something's gonna pop out, somebody's gonna argue.
When you travel,
Yeah.
basically, especially when you're traveling by flight, you look around and let's be honest, you don't see as many, you'll see the majority, you know, uh, other races, Caucasian, but you'll see few, we're always the few, on the flight. So that's what we're used to seeing. And
And I
so,
was like,
yeah.
"Wow, this is different." So, we get on the flight, and on our way here, I happened to meet another brother, from Uganda,
Mm.
and we've been friends ever since then as well, and,
Wow.
Brother Frederick. And so we came to Rwanda, we get here, and it was different. It was so eye-opening to see our people and people that look like us running things. I mean, the security, the pilot, the stewardess, the flight attendant,
Everybody's
the
it's
baggage
like
people,
everybody's black.
the
It's like,
cabs.
wow.
And but the other thing was, as soon as we stepped off of that plane and walked down the stairs, the first Rwandan I met said, "Welcome home." And that was wow. So we go through, we do everything we need to do, and Terrell and I go on, we got out with Centauri and SWAT, and they showed us the ropes, this and that.
Mm.
And along the way, we picked up the pieces, picked up the pace, and we started doing things on our own. We got our own car and learned how to drive in this get in where you fit in traffic. That's what I'm gonna call it. And so, but the wonderful thing is you didn't get the looks and the mouthiness that we would get in the States if you cut somebody off. You know, it was just controlled chaos, and they were polite about it. But in the States, somebody might get out of the car and it's going to be on, but that doesn't happen here. So
Yeah.
so we learned that. The next thing we did was we actually purchased agricultural property, and we started a agritourism business within 30 days, which is really unheard of. And so, our host asked that, "How did you guys get that done? And we've been working 3 months to get ours, and y'all walk in and get it." I said, "It must be divine intervention. It has to be," is what I told them. So they smiled, we took a picture, and so we decided to come back, got the wives and my daughter, came back, and we were very, very, hush hush about everything we saw. We were very limited in the information we gave them because I wanted my wife to get the same experience I got.
Right.
Let let it be an eye opener to her without any influence from me, making her feel like, oh, he wants to go, but I don't know if I want to. Let her come on and see for herself. And so they came, and I'm gonna hush and let her take the floor.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when we decided to come, when we came, I can remember some things. When he was here and we were in the States, I was I was excited about it, but I was a little nervous because I didn't know how he would perceive and take it, being here. And I remember phone calls, FaceTimes. He would call me, he would hear, and I'm in the States and I was working from home at that time. And there were a couple of times where he would FaceTime me and I'm thinking about it because I'm sitting here and I'm looking at your sheer curtains and how the wind is blowing, right? So there were times where he would call, he would FaceTime me and he would be talking. I'm like, okay, so, what do you think? How is it? Or my brother would call and FaceTime and I would catch Hamp. There were a couple of times where he's sitting on the couch and he had a book and he's just reading it. And the background, I could see the sheer curtains behind him, the wind, just the breeze, just, blowing. And he looked like he was just at peace. And I was like, "Wow," and I was a little jealous because I was like, "Man," and so then there would be times when he would he would say, I'm like, "So, how you doing? How you like it?" And he's like, "Well, look, he's in the bed, and he's scrolling on the phone, and he turns the phone, he reverses the camera, and he shows me the background. The view was just gorgeous, right? But he wouldn't tell me a lot, you know? He would just give me little tidbits of information, but what I could see, I was like, "Wow, I think he's liking Rwanda. He's digging this."
Yeah.
And so anyway, so which made, me even more excited, to
Mhm.
come and visit. And my daughter, we were like, "Man, she's our youngest, and we were thinking, I wonder how she's gonna like it." So she was on the fence about it because she has friends. She graduated in 2020, and she only has, she has friends there and in the States, and so she was just kind of nervous about it. And I'm like, well, we gave her the option. If she wanted to come, she could come. If not. But she said that there was just this pull for her to come.
Wow.
Too, because young adult, she can kind of see, the condition of the states, and the young people there, and the things that they're into wasn't quite really what, she needed. You know what I mean? It's just like she just kind of felt like she maybe needed to just come. So we came, and man, from the time, and I experienced the same thing that Hamp spoke of, getting on the plane, it's like you're going, you're coming from, Little Rock to Chicago, and then, there's a certain picture, we're just used to seeing, and then you're traveling from Chicago into, Brussels, Brussels, and you can kind of see, okay, but from Brussels to Kigali, and just to see, like you said, the flight attendants, you seeing more of your people, you seeing more, blacks, and I'm just like, wow, just things that you're not used to seeing, and it's small, but yet impactful. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's like, wow, I remember the moments of coming into Kigali, y'all, just the whole at nighttime, just seeing, if you know what I'm talking about. You only,
Mhm.
yeah, the skylines
Yeah.
and the lights, and
Yeah.
Rwanda is known for a land of 1,000 hills, right? But at nighttime, you're just seeing all the lights, so you don't really see
It
the landscape,
Yeah.
and so the terrain, and so that in itself
Mm.
was just like coming off the plane, fresh air. Wow, little things like that, and to wake up that following morning, sunrise, and to see I can't really explain. It was like we're in Africa. Things begin to change. The stereotypes, things you would hear about Africa and all of that. Things things that you think you might see, but you don't see. And just to see it in real time. Yeah, we did our research, so we knew what we were going into, but it hit differently once we got here. And so anyway, it's been magical ever since, really. I don't want to say magical, but it's been beautiful.
Yeah.
It's been beautiful. And so, 2 year, almost 2 years in, we love it. We're still enjoying our time here, and we're still adjusting. But yeah, so
Wow, that's amazing.
yeah.
What a fantastic story. Like I just love hearing other people's experiences. And, that kind of made me think of my experience with Jay. Like when Jay first came here, he came by himself. And, I had just given birth.
Hmm.
And, I was at home taking care of the kids, and Jay is, he's in Africa trying to get his business started. And Gwen, that's kind of what you said about him. I would look at Jay, and there was something about him. He just looked 10 times lighter.
Hmm.
And I'm like, wow. just even in the way that he spoke to me,
Mm.
it was just another he was still Jay, but he was just another
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm like, wow,
Yeah.
this is
Yeah.
it was yeah,
Yeah, and the lighter is a great way
lighter.
of putting it because he you y'all were here what about 30 days, right? The lightness that that like I said that was a great way of putting it, but also seeing Hamp go through this transformation health-wise
Wow.
was huge. That was a big factor, in us. I'm like, to see the change in him, the change in his health. He's calling me and telling me, "Gwen, I haven't had to take certain he hadn't had to take certain medicines and, his insulin shots. His numbers were going down, and it was like, are you serious? So, and again, I'm in the States, and he's relaying this information to me, and I'm just like, amazing, he comes back, he's slimmer. So he's lighter, okay, again, and so it's like, wow, So again, it just made us all the more excited to come and to tap in and really see what it's about. Like I said, getting off the plane and to see our people as far as you could see. I don't know. It did something, it confirmed a whole lot of things for me. And from that point on, I was only here for like 14 days, but it was enough with his 30 days and me being here we knew this is it. And my daughter, she fell in love. She didn't want to go back, but when we went back with intentions of returning, it couldn't happen soon enough for her.
Yeah.
That was and that was another confirmation because you like, I got a 20-something-year-old, who is now going into adulthood. At that moment in life, their thing is, I'm about to be on my own. I'm grown. I'm about to really live now, because I'm coming out from under my parents. That's the kind of, you think, okay. But she didn't have that. It was like, I want to go back to Rwanda. Very different, right? In culture, the lifestyle, I mean, young people are here. So, a lot of commonalities as far as what they're into and things like that. It was amazing to see that on her. And that was like, okay, it's time to go. You know what I mean? Because if we can bring our child out of this and take her into another, country where she gets to experience life differently and she's all for it.
Yeah. Another thing that hit me was when we were coming and circling to go to the runway. Anna was glued to the window. She was looking at the lights, and so I remember because I'm sitting across the
Her
aisle from her,
face.
so I'm looking at her face when she looks back, so excited.
She
And then I said, and this is the comment I made. I said, "Did you expect to see fires and huts?"
right.
Yeah.
It wasn't what she
Yeah, it
expected,
wasn't what she expected.
It wasn't
Yeah,
what she expected.
yeah.
That was
You
for
know,
her huge,
and the other thing was when we went out to the farm, we had to go through one of the villages out in Gashora, and she noticed how happy the children were with literally nothing,
Nothing.
but they were happy, and that just wave and they
Mhm.
smile and they speaking. She's
There's a
she's like,
sense of contentment,
yeah,
Right.
yeah,
that they have, even knowing that just looking at their environment, looking at, they had, what were they playing with?
one was playing with the tire with the little thing, and they roll the tire with the
Yeah, and we see that
Right,
from
we see
time to
that as
time,
yeah,
well
right? And
sometimes,
yeah.
you're right,
yeah.
uh-huh.
And then they would take, like, rags and make their own
A
soccer ball
ball,
to play soccer with, because they don't
Right.
have a soccer ball, and they was just with it.
laughing and playing, and that I'm just, I'm thankful to the Most High because there are probably some young adults who probably would not see it that way. Like, oh, get me up out of here. I'm ready to go home. But for her not to have that reaction, that was just, that's one of the many positive things that confirm it's time. Let's do this.
That's that's the word that was going through my mind, confirmation.
Yeah.
Because you came here, you love it. Then your wife, you know what I'm saying? That just solidifies that you're doing what the Most High called you to do. Right?
Mm.
I always, since day one of meeting you guys, I was like, what a blessing it is to have almost your whole family here. And then you have more coming.
We do. We have a sister, my brother and my sister-in-law are actually moving here in 30 days. She's counting down. That's how I know. I keep up with the time because she reminds
she
me.
tells-
33.
Go.
Okay. It's 32 days. 31. Yeah, it is. It is.
Amazing. Because
Yeah.
Ben and we struggle with getting people to see, but I understand that it's in y'all's time,
Yes.
and he will open their eyes. And I see little changes happening, but it's just such a blessing to see your family, your mom, your
Mhm.
daughter, you know,
And
your brother, your sister-in-law. And
yeah.
I mean, it's just a blessing to have so much family
Yeah.
here, I would think. And even Abby, her mother-in-law is here, her kids are here, of course, your husband. And, right? No, I mean, if I had the chance, like if it was okay, like to do things over, if my kids were young enough, that I could just bring them without argument, you know?
Yes. Yes. I agree.
Yeah.
I
So
agree.
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, and I really like, it's one thing to bring the kid when they're young, right? And they don't really have a say in the matter, right? I think that's powerful that your daughter, I mean, because I remember when I was in my 20s, I felt the same way. I get to be on my own. I have an idea of how my life is going to be. And that just speaks to the calling on her life. That's what you said. She felt pulled to come here. And I think that's amazing. I'm excited to see what Yahuwah has in store for us here on the continent.
Look what the Most High has done. I mean, she's here. Yeah, y'all. Hopefully, we'll get the interview.
You know what? Yeah, maybe I can say that and allow her.
Yeah,
She's
we'll
on your
say
list.
that.
Allow. Yeah, we'll let her.
Yeah.
I mean, the States is not a place to be right now.
It's not. It really, it's not. And the more that, we're here and we're on the continent, yes, I always say, we're yet adjusting. But as I look and I still compare, if I had to go back and, revert, I wouldn't change anything. We wouldn't change anything. So yeah, there's some give and takes.
Yeah.
There are some sacrifices. Every day is not perfect. But, I do have other family in the States who, we had a friend, he was talking, Hamp has a good friend in the States, and he asked the question yesterday, when y'all coming back? Yeah, so when y'all coming back? And Hamp just laughed like, like,
Next question.
right, like, there are no regrets. And I know being here, I no doubt in my mind that we were called to come. And, are we still navigating this thing? Yes. Are we still trying to figure it out?
Yeah.
Yes.
And I feel like that's really important to say because it's, you're coming to the continent and there's still struggle that we're experiencing. There's still things that we're navigating. But the peace and the wholeness that we experience here, it kind of overruled all of that.
It does.
I've noticed when we first came here, you talk about the fresh air and the lightness. That's the first thing I felt. Like when you get on the continent,
Yes.
like it's just so much lighter.
Agree.
And then we had to go back to the state to take care of some business, and I could immediately felt that weight. And I was just like, I don't really like this. But I say that because, I want to encourage, if there's anybody listening, come visit, because I can try to explain it to people back home, but unless you experience it, you don't really understand it. It's really hard to articulate. And I think being in the States, when you're under that weight, you can't really see it until you come up out of it.
Yeah, and to speak to that, my family members that are coming next month, they came. So, right, we were all supposed to like do this whole shift together. We were supposed to do this whole shift moving together, and they were like, we're coming, we'll come, we're gonna visit, and we were like, okay. Well, they did. They came. They came in March of last year, and a year to that time, now they're moving. So that speaks to, you do have to come and visit. People won't understand because, unfortunately, the things that we've been conditioned to think of Africa, right? Somehow it becomes ingrained in the head. It sits back in your mind, and they make jokes and stuff. Oh, guys, we've had people to make jokes, and it basically comes from a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, them not really knowing because of what they perceive, what the media puts out, you know what I mean? So unfortunately, for a lot of family members, like Jayne was saying, they won't see until they actually come to the continent. When you come to the continent, your eyes are opening in a way that they've never been open before.
That's true.
And then that's when you begin to see the difference.
Yeah.
That's when you begin to feel the difference. That's what happened for us. That was our experience. Even though we did the research, even though we looked, even though we did all of that, it was still different once we got here and we placed our feet on the soil, on the continent, and we were like, man, the vastness. I always think about the vastness of this continent and the land. It's amazing. You can't put words on it.
You really can't.
You can't.
Yeah. So, what did you guys bring?
Everything.
How many boxes did we
We had 35 boxes of household goods, and we had 9 suitcases for 4 people.
However, a lot of those things, I can look back now, we could say we probably could we could have left that. We could have cut that cost down.
Really? Like, what did you bring that
Well-
you felt like could have left behind?
I don't
We bought, like, I guess you'd say, creature comforts, like the soaps, the lotions, things like that.
Yeah.
We like, because, we didn't know. We didn't know.
Right,
And
right.
so we got here and found, oh, they have this soap. They have,
Ooh, and it's
Yeah.
better.
And it's
It
better.
feels
And it's
better
less-
to the
less-
skin.
I mean, yeah, and so,
So now we got all this U.S. soap,
yeah.
all this, all these other, and we're
things
going
like
down to
that.
the market getting there. It's just things.
Certain clothing we could have left behind because it's too heavy for here.
Yeah.
It's too heavy. So we could have left a bunch of that. Now, the things I would say that I'm happy I did bring, if you like to cook,
Mm.
please bring your cast iron pots and skillets, because the cast iron here is not of the same quality.
That's right.
They have it, but it's not the same quality. So that is one thing.
Yeah.
Seasonings, bring your seasonings if
Yeah.
you like cooking, because you pretty much gonna get chili oil and salt, and that's roughly almost
Pepper.
paprika.
Pepper.
They
Yeah.
don't even put black pepper on the table at the restaurants. I
Salt.
yeah, they put salt out. So what I did is I made a all-purpose blend, and we take that almost everywhere we go.
It is delicious.
So
Yeah, Rwanda has an abundance of fresh food. I guess
It's
the
all
cooking is
all
is all organic, and it's
Exactly.
great. But the specialty cooking utensils that we're accustomed to using in the States, you're not going to find that. And Hamp is very particular. He's a chef of our family. He's a great cook. And hence why I struggle to lose weight. Even though it's better for you, the food is good, but he loves to cook. And so, but he's particular about his supplies and the things that he used to cook. So those who do, plan to move to the continent, if you're particular about your pots and pans, good quality, good cast iron, all of the neat little utensils and things that kitchen gadget, bring those here. Because you'll find, wow, having the fresh food and all that, you get, creative in the kitchen. And
For example, we wanted to make potato salad, and you can't find the sweet relish nowhere.
no,
So me being who I am, I cut up all the cucumbers, took the seeds out, and then I made my own
it
sweet
was
relish
great.
and put in the
It was
potato salad.
so good.
Okay.
I mean, to have
Okay.
fresh relish, those little things, it's like,
No
man,
preservative.
it's different.
Right.
This is
Right.
not the States, but this is good.
So
It gives off a different taste. Yeah, so he
yes,
did that. Yeah.
you find ways to adapt
Yeah.
to the things that the creature comforts that you like, and 9 out of 10 times, you can do that. You can do that. So,
Yes.
one of the things I'm not gonna say I was upset, but I was disappointed at the beginning was, when we fry fish, especially in the South, we like cornmeal batter on our fish.
Mm-hmm.
Here they use flour, which is good, but if I use flour, then I want malt vinegar, which is not available here. So I'm like, I gotta find my meal. So we ordered meal, which was expensive to get here. And then probably the second time I think we ordered meal, there's a company that started making the fine cornmeal. And I bought two huge sacks of it to make sure I had it just in case it runs out. Because sometimes they get products here and they run out and they may not get it for 2, 3, 4 months, or may not get
Right.
it at all. So you better get the getting while the getting is good, as the old folks say. So,
Yeah.
it's just
Yeah.
little things like that.
Yeah.
You just, it's kind of hit and miss, like, for example, we as Americans, we like tortilla chips because we do salsa. They have some of the fresh, you get some of the fresh and greatest vegetables here, but they don't have the jalapenos, but you can make do with the bird's eye jalapenos. And I wind up ordering me some jalapeno pepper powder. So a little bit goes a long way, but I don't have the tortillas, you know. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
every now
Right.
and then you
Yeah.
can find what was it, the cassava tortilla chips, but
Yeah.
that just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
So
But you find the tortillas. And so one of the things we were like, well, just cut and make your own. Just,
wow.
you know what I'm saying? So it ends up being probably better anyway, So
Yeah.
there is some, like I said, there's give and take. It forces you being here we're used to quick, like store-bought, already manufactured, we want to go and grab that bag of tortilla chips that we're used to. But being here, Hamp tells me all the time, just make it. I'll be like, man, they don't have this. And he'll say, just make it. You find tortillas and you make your own fresh tortilla
And the
chips.
wonderful thing too is that most of the products you find here that's in the store on the shelf, when you flip it over and look at the ingredients, there's not 30 doggone ingredients
That's
that you
That's a
can't find
plus.
out.
that's right.
Yes.
So that contributes to your health being better.
Right.
Since I've been here, I've lost over 50 pounds. I didn't go to nobody's gym, just walking from the bed to the shower to the table to eat and out and about, just walking. And I usually try to push about at a minimum a mile a day. And I usually wind up sometimes getting 3 and 4 miles in, depending on what I'm doing. But I lost that weight just eating and walking here. And it made a big difference in my health.
Yeah, and that tells you that
You
there's
know,
something different
just
about the food here.
Absolutely.
yeah.
Because Ben, I remember prior to coming here, y'all, everybody knows that Ben had to be like almost dragged out of the States.
Yeah.
But one of his concerns was health. He
Yeah.
was like, Jane, I have diabetes. What is that going to look like? What about my medicine and stuff like that? And since I had already come here, like some of us did, right?
Mm.
Uh, I knew that wasn't going to be an issue,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I'm
Right.
like, listen, the food is fresh. There are doctors there.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
they're
You know,
doctors, right?
They're good
Exactly.
doctors
there are
here. Very
doctors,
good
Yeah,
doctors
yes.
here.
right.
And so now he's here, and of course he's loving it, and his numbers are way down.
Yeah.
These
That
things out
speaks
the
Yeah.
volume,
window.
right?
Absolutely.
You know
And
what I mean?
can we discuss that? Since we hit on that, is talking about the medical side.
Absolutely.
Yes.
You know, here, if you go to the pharmacy, other than certain items, you can just go ask the pharmacy for it. For example, you need pain medicine. If it's not a narcotic, you can pretty much get it right over the counter and probably pay less than 5 USD,
Exactly.
and sometimes even cheaper than that. And they can even give you 2, 3 day doses. They can give you a week dose. They can give you a month dose. You just pay for it and ask for it. You don't have to go to the doctor, get that visit bill. Doctor tell you what you telling him is wrong with you, and get that bill for the consultation.
Wait.
And then
You gotta wait for lab work, maybe days.
and they write you a prescription. Then you got to go pay that high dollar. You got to pay this copay. It's $60.
Right.
It's $100. And you go in here, go straight to the pharmacy and say, "Hey, look, I got a cold. I got this. I got infection, chest sinus." And she said, "Well, what's your symptoms?" Da, da, da. And she says, "Hey, you need this right here." And you go pay it. And being American, we're expecting to pay $40, $50, $60 for this
Exactly.
medicine. And you wind up paying $2, $3 in most cases and get exactly what you need. And it's like, oh wow, this is a difference, a game changer.
Yeah.
We went to the dentist, went to go have some work done. Went in and out the dentist. I guarantee you, I don't think I paid over $40.
Yeah.
The wait wasn't. I had no appointment. No appointment. I was hurt. No appointment. Went in, told him what's happening. Came in, look, let's do an X-ray. Do X-ray. He said, "Oh yeah, you got a bad one. Let's see what you want to do. Do what you got to do." He said, "You want to take it out? Let's pull it." Triple. It's done. And go downstairs. I'm like, how much they gonna hit me for this? And then fool around and they're like, "Oh," and you're like, "Man, that's anything less than $100 make you feel really good."
Yeah, or you don't worry about being balance bill too. Like,
Yeah.
even though you have to pay,
No
okay.
insurance.
But
no
next thing you know, you go to the mailbox and you got, an additional bill
Insurance
for
didn't pay
additional
this, so you
costs.
gonna pay
Right,
for this.
Yeah.
right.
So I was just going to say regarding dentists, Ben went to that same dentist
Yeah.
that you guys referred us to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took one X-ray. That dentist
It
took
knew
one
what to do.
picture of when you're in the States,
They do the full mouth panoramic.
they fill you with all that radiation
I'm
and stuff,
telling you,
and
yes.
it's just crazy, right?
Exactly.
And unnecessary.
Right.
Like, if we ever thought it was necessary, we now know
No,
that
it's not necessary.
He took one picture of this tooth, showed it to him. All right, that has to come out, because Ben went in there telling the dentist what needed to be done, He
I'm gonna
was
tell
like-
you
he
what
was
needs
like,
to
I
be
agree.
done.
The dentist was like, I agree, that has to come. He pulled it out. It was quick, and I said, "Can he have his tooth?" I think this is what got me the most,
Wow.
because I said, "Can he have his tooth?" And he said, "Sure." In the States, you can't have your tooth.
Yeah, they
What do
take
they
it
do?
out and they
We were at the dentist, in the States a while ago, and Ben asked could he have his tooth, and they told him no, it was against the law.
Oh,
But here,
But it
that
was
dentist
vomiting.
it's my tooth,
yeah.
and I can't have.
right.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's
need
like
it.
why? That went
Yeah.
to science. That
You know,
too.
Our daughter got sick. We went to the clinic. No appointment. Got seen. A lab drawn. Waited on the results. Wrote a prescription. Went right to the pharmacy right there at the clinic. And I don't think we paid over $50 for the
Yeah.
whole kit and caboodle of the whole visit. And I'm like, in the States, we'd have been out of $500, $600, if not more, $1,000 just for that.
Yeah.
And not to even include the medicine in the States.
Right.
They gave her the medicine, and boom. And now we find out what medicine it is. If she ever gets sick, we just know to
You
go
can
to the
go ask
pharmacy
for
and
it.
say, "Hey, I need this." And they're like, "Sure, no problem."
Right.
So the thing that I found, because being in the States, I never knew any other country. I've traveled to other countries, but I've never been immersed within that country. And so we had, well, let me stop saying we, I had nothing to compare what I was dealing with in the States to.
Right.
So I'm living the American dream. I got a nice home. We got a 5-bedroom home. We got 2 cars, 3 cars. Everybody got a car.
Everybody's driving, yeah.
Nice neighborhood, no trouble, beautiful. And I'm like, we live in the American dream. This is it. But I came here and saw what was happening, heard what was happening, moved here, and then I found out in hindsight, in America, I was the middleman. I was working, getting money, taking money in my right hand, switching over to my left hand, giving it to the house, giving it to the insurance, giving it to the rent, giving it to the, everything. And I couldn't hardly save money. And we were doing very well as far as money wise. Then come here, money cut in half and doing better here than I was ever doing in the
Isn't
States.
that amazing?
In less than a year. In less than a year. That was just phenomenal to me. I was like, oh, wow, look at this. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and just for example,
And that's even still with me no
not
longer
working. Why
working
not
anymore.
working?
You
Yeah.
know, I had a
She was
great
pulling-
job.
She was pulling them down.
I was, won't
You
say who
know-
I was working for, but you know what I mean? I was, I had a nice government job, So, but yeah, even to see the difference, it's quite amazing,
That's a topic because a lot of people wonder how. I think this is what stops a lot of people from coming. How am I going to live? How am I going to make a living, right?
Yeah.
And that's a very important question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what you just said makes a lot of sense. It doesn't take as much, not nearly as much
Let me-
to live here as it does to live in the
Yeah.
States.
Let me give you some numbers. You can get a 2-bedroom and going up from there, $800 a month USD. You can have your electric bill paid within that $800. You can have your water bill paid within that $800. You pay for the gas, and I'm gonna touch on that in a second. You get your internet paid also within that $800 in a good location, right? All right. You don't have to worry about the yard. You don't have to worry about the cleanup. You get someone to come in and clean your house for you. You pay anywhere, and I'm gonna do it in USD because most of the audience is gonna be USD. It's like maybe anywhere from $105 to maybe $120 for a person to come in to clean your house, cook, wash, sweep, mop for you. Now, that makes us kind of feel a little bad because we don't feel like that's enough money we should give. But the president says, don't try to pay U.S. Not currency, but wages for the work because they just don't want us to do that. But what I'm telling you is, you could come here like we have a place. We have a 4-bedroom place. All right. My water bill. What's the water bill usually? Average?
Probably about maybe 22, 23,000.
So
Oh,
what is that?
yeah.
Let me see. And I'm sorry.
Let's just say if we did 25 Rwanda francs a month water bill, that's about
$17.15, right?
$17 for water.
All right. We get the big tank of gas for cooking. We pay $19, almost $20 every 2.5 months.
Right.
I mean, the house we had in the States, especially wintertime, you knocking $500-$600
I'm seeing it right
a
now.
month.
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Okay. The electric bill is probably our highest bill. And what is that?
Oh, he has me. I didn't know we had to pull out. See here. I don't know. I normally reset it or replenish the wattage for like 150 per month. So that's 150.
$2 is what we do it, and because we got four people.
Yeah, for four
all that.
people though,
But that's still just
that's
100 USD. In America, that number would be 4, 5, 6,
Exactly.
depending on what time of the year, a month.
You are not.
And in actuality, with less than $200, you can pay all your utilities if you had to pay all utilities at a place. So it just comes down to what you want to do. I have a cousin here who moved here just on Social Security alone and has a wonderful place. Everything's taken care of, and she is happy as she can be as far as her money being spent here, you know. And things that you want, you can have built here. I mean, you want tables, you want chairs, you want seats, you want benches, beds, whatever you want. And if you can show them a picture, they can actually make it for you. They will make it. And they expect you to negotiate. So negotiate. They're gonna give you a price. You just cut it in half and then start making them work from there.
Mhm.
And then if you still don't like it, walk away and see if they're serious. And if you walk away and they don't grab you, then that was their final price. But if they tell you to come back, expect they're gonna come down on that price.
Everything is negotiable here. It seems to be
Yeah.
like you can always
And
kind of,
what's the slogan here? Anything's possible in Rwanda.
I can do it.
Yeah.
I can do it.
Nobody tells you
No,
nothing.
yes. That's the response you get. You know, anything I can do it. Yeah.
Now,
Like, wait.
wait.
Let me see your portfolio.
Now, I'll tell you this. If you go and you say, can you do this for me? And this is what you hear. Yes. And they say, well, you going to do this? Yes. You're in trouble. You're in trouble. So bring a translator with you. And then
I can.
yes, we all find Rwandan people who we vet, we trust, and we send them to go check prices and buy for us.
Always
Because
good.
they'll get us a good price.
Yes.
They'll get us a good price.
Yeah.
And so, and when you find good people, you keep those same people.
Yes.
And then you have those people do things for you as well. So I go to the market, the big market, which my wife hates to go to.
Would that be wrong?
Kimmy Ronco
Yeah,
market.
Kimmy Ronco.
And so I'm so well known there. I'm almost like a celebrity when I walk up on the place. But what I do is I get one guy that I trust and I send him to go get whatever I need. And that's what I do with everything. I need this. Can you go get that? Yeah. What's the price? Yeah. Then every now and then I'll get someone else that he doesn't know that I have to go check his price to make sure he's right. And if he's a little bit up, well, I think he's got to get a little bit to put in his own pocket. They tell me, and I say, I'm gonna go over here because she has this price for me. You missed me this time, just to keep them honest. You know, because you have to also understand they don't make a lot of money here. So if they can, they think you're a foreigner, you are a tourist, they'll jack that price up. They will. And you can't knock their hustle. If you bite, you bite, and if you don't, you don't. But because the price is still less than what we pay in the US, most tourists tend to bite and take it and go.
Right.
But being here, I know better. So I negotiate, I tell them, and I tell them all the time, I'd like to have that, but I don't necessarily need it. So since I don't like the price, I'm gonna walk.
Yeah.
And then when you turn that back, oh, boss, wait. I can get you a good price. What's a good? Then they ask you, what do you want to pay? So it's a game. It's fun, you know, but just understand your money, you're here to try to save money, not spend all your money. So when you find your right team, or as I call it, you find your tribe here, you keep that tribe intact, keep your people happy, taken care of, you know, and you have a wonderful time. I've heard people tell me, I was in Rwanda, I left because we had the communication problem. You know, they speak Rwandan, they speak Swahili, they speak French, and they speak some English. Most businesses will speak English and Kinyarwanda. All right. Now, if you go out to the outlying areas, to the mom and pop places, we call them back in the States, you're going to get straight Kinyarwanda. Now, I will tell you, some of them will play like they don't understand and don't want to do it. But you fool around and pull that Frank out and show it to them and say, hey, what? And they can speak very good. speak very well. So sometimes it works too. So they fuss at me about, oh, you need to learn more Kenya run. I speak Kenya run. I said, what do you speak? I said, Frank. So
Rwandan pranks.
yeah. And then, sometimes I don't understand, even though they speak in English.
Yeah.
And my wife gets on me all the time because I look at her like, what they say?
Like I know.
Yeah, Kenya Rwandan is a hard language to
Yeah.
learn, that's for sure.
But
We try, but
we
Exactly.
in the end though, we figure it out. We make it happen.
Mhm.
And that's what it's about.
Mm.
And now those of you who are thinking about another place to go, I'd encourage you to come to Rwanda because right now Rwanda is growing and she wants to be the Singapore of Africa, which means there are so many opportunities for you to make money, to create a business. And it's not near the cost it is in the States and other countries to start a business here. It is very easy to do.
Mm.
And if you got the capital, there are people here who can um, help you do that. The opportunity is just vast. I mean, we have a farm. Uh, Abby's husband Jay and I work together. Um, Janie and her husband Ben and I work together. We all are here together, helping each other succeed, and together we can make some things happen. So we have more power together than we have individually. So things kind of move just a little bit slow because they're a little bit behind as far as most of the technology.
Mm.
But the we can see the vision for the future of the ideas that we have and the need that's there. It's just a matter of sitting in front of the right person or having the capital or both to make it happen.
Mm.
And that's what we're doing right now. And it's a little bit frustrating from an American standpoint mindset because we're used to things popping like this. We come in, we talk, hey, we talking about this, we're talking about that. You guys need this, we got that. We can help you, you can help us. And they don't move like that. It's a
Mm.
different culture. So if you can understand that and have the patience, then you'll do very well here, you
Mm.
know. And when you go in to talk, you don't talk business right off the bat. You talk about how's your family, how are you? How are things
Relationship.
going? You start
Yeah.
building relationships.
Yeah.
Right.
You build those relationships, then things happen very well.
Mhm.
And that's one of the things I love doing is building relationships. So when we go to the Rwanda Development Board, um, the one-stop shop, they call it, for everything,
Mm.
that's what I do. I build those relationships. So when I come in, I like it when they smile and say, "Oh, he's here."
Mhm.
Instead of, say, "Oh my God, not him today." So we build those relationships and when you build those relationships, things tend to move a little bit faster for you. The wheels turn a little bit better for you. So build those relationships.
Yeah.
I encourage that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
exercise patience, right?
Yes.
Like you said, like being here like takes patience.
Rwanda will yes, it will teach you patience.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
it w- it will slow you down, which is a good thing in some ways. It will slow you down. It will teach you patience.
Mhm.
It'll humble you too a little bit. Back to what kind of to piggyback off of what Hamp was saying, for those in the States and you're wondering if you kind of have that little pull, to maybe relocate. Rwanda they're progressing, you can see upward movement, but there's a great need still here. So, like what Hamp was saying, there are many opportunities, and if you're in the States and you're thinking about opening a business there, maybe reconsider. Maybe think about running a business here and
Mhm.
research and look into the needs here on the continent. I would encourage you to come first, and then kind of see what needs there's a lot. And maybe invest in the continent. And I think you may find it to be a greater opportunity than wherever you are. So I just wanted to speak to that. It's like I said, it comes with sacrifices. It's different, but it's also rewarding.
Absolutely. And I just listening to both of you speak, it really comes back to the value of the people here and the value of the relationship that you make. And I really see that contrasted in the culture of America, where when you do business, it's all about getting things done, getting a return for your investment, things like that. And here, it's more of an investment in people and
Mhm.
recognizing that intrinsic value that they have and
Yes.
slowing down
Yes.
and recognizing, who you are as a person, what Yahuwah has called you to do
Yes.
and to be on this earth,
Right.
and also recognizing that intrinsic value in people you have never met before,
Right.
and
Mhm.
building something off of that, right? Because that's
Mhm.
what we were created for, to be in
Yeah.
relationship with Yahuwah and with each other. So
Yeah.
I think that's beautiful.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's amazing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You come here, you definitely find purpose. If that's your drive, you're trying to, you want to make an impact. Coming here, man, like I said, being here, our eyes have been open wide, and like I said, there's a great need here, for the people here in Rwanda, and a lot of people are so in the States. We have so many people who are gifted and talented and just wondering, how can I got this idea and I have a little bit of capital, but I don't know, you know what I mean? How
Yeah.
come,
Yeah.
come and invest here because you'll find out. You'll be amazed because you'll think, wow, they don't have that, or they don't have this in place.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not because it's just they don't. I always say, Rwandans don't know what they don't know. And so your ideas and your creativeness, you will be shocked, man, how can I make this work? Will it really work here
Mhm.
versus there?
Yeah.
And you'll find, hey,
Yeah.
it will work here. I say when you come to Rwanda, even though it's growing rapidly, or it's upward progress taking place, when you do come back, sometimes it's almost like you're stepping back in time just a little bit. In the sense of technology,
Mhm.
just
Just the way they do things and process things,
right.
Yeah.
Yes.
coming from the States, you can see things how you can see how you can actually streamline some of the things that they do to make it much, much easier
Yes.
and
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
have better time management.
Right.
That's the
Management
thing here. Time management is not of the essence here.
is not.
It's like, we
Or just the
yeah,
processes,
the process is yeah.
just the processes and what they, to do certain things. It's like, hey, we can make this a little bit better for you. Only because coming from the States, States is a little bit more ahead. They're advanced, they're ahead in a lot of things. And so to come back here, so that's what I mean when I say you kind of step back a little bit,
Mhm. Yeah.
but it gives you that opportunity, right? It gives you the opportunity now to impart some things, into some of the young people here. Rwanda is full of young people. And so it's like you have that knowledge base, and if you are wondering,
Mhm.
if you kind of having that pull to maybe, come and once you come again, that's when you'll see,
Yes.
wow, this will work great here. This will
Yes.
be, you know what I mean? And then it makes all of the difference,
It sure does.
and it does. Then you be like, man, I have purpose now. And so you come in and you can impart those ways here because like I said, the ideas and the business opportunities is, man,
Yeah.
it's great. I mean, it's limitless, I guess you can kind of say.
Yeah.
There's so many
I'll
things.
I'll say it again. Come here, get your tribe together,
Yeah.
and accomplish the mission that you want to see
Mhm.
happen for your future. The opportunities here are in investments in homes, construction,
Mm-hmm.
agriculture for
Mm-hmm.
sure, technology. And I think if you find your niche in the food industry of cooking, you would change the game because your food would be much better tasting because of the seasonings and things that we use. But you have to also understand.
Now, don't come over
you
here
can't-
polluting all the, leave some of the no
Yeah, there's enough things here to
Keep it
make the
natural as possible.
the natural seasons and things like that.
Yeah.
But also remember this: to live here, each individual really don't need no more than about $1,500 to maybe $3,000 a month, because you would live so well just on $3,000 a month.
And that's being
easily, and
that's really being generous,
Yeah.
in some areas.
Yeah.
It just kind of depends
Be
on
comfortable.
what you
Yeah.
want. For me, coming here, I was looking for a sense of simplicity because in the States, it's like we just had this,
It's consumerism.
yes, consumerism is something, exactly. And being in the state makes you want to feel like you need this, you just need. And I don't know, in the States, I used to always tell him, to a point to where it became too much. I'm just like, we're always wanting and getting, and it's like, it was just, and I was like, I need a sense of simplicity. I need simple in my life.
Yeah, me
Yeah.
too. And that's one of the things I love about being here. We talked about it before. Like you can move into your apartment in many cases. You can choose an apartment that's already furnished. It already has your plates, your glasses, your utensils, all this stuff that you can just start off with.
Yes.
You don't have to run out and
And get right.
right. And that's so important because you can take some time, you can breathe.
And it be okay,
Yeah.
because the States has a way of making you feel like you're lacking still. Even after all the chasing and getting this and that, like you're still missing something.
Right.
Coming here was that sense. It's almost like the Most High showed me, you and I'm still finding myself shifting that mentality.
Yeah.
Because it's amazing, the stronghold.
Yeah.
And it's like you find yourself, and I know this is probably another whole conversation in itself, but
It sure is.
if you're looking for that, man, I'm telling you, being here, Rwanda has a way again of humbling you. It makes you be like, man, every time I go out and I walk in the morning, sometimes it would bring tears to my eyes because I'll be like looking at the people and seeing how they live and just their daily movement and the things, how they're content, and how they're just talking and I'm like, these people are finna go into work and they're about to put it
Sundown.
right, sun up to sundown. There's just a sense of peace. There's a sense of contentment. Something about when I get out in the midst of the communities here, when I just walk among them, it seems like it centers me. It brings me back to, so that's another thing that draws me. And one of the things I love about Rwanda, just being here, and I don't know, and it may be that way in a different country on the continent, but coming back to that simplicity of life, it puts things in perspective as to what really matters. You know what I mean? And I find myself reminding myself because, again, it's a stronghold and it's a mentality that has to change over the course of time. I'll find myself wanting to go back online and be like, man, I miss this. I need this. I want this, And then I'm like, no, you don't.
I understand.
You don't need it. It's a purging, yes. It is.
Be painful. There's no way of getting around that. So people need to know when they come, you're going to experience.
You're going to, yes.
You're going to be okay.
You're going to be okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Better.
Right, you're going to be better. Right,
You're gonna have
exactly.
withdrawals.
And
have
some of that,
withdrawals.
and if you start over there in the States now, the people wonder, how can I make it happen? How can I do what y'all done? Start trimming fat. Start trimming the fat. Look around at the things that you're putting so much money into that Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
down from the cup of coffee, Starbucks, all those little things like that. Start looking at those things,
Yeah.
and you'll realize, like Hamp was saying, for us to come here and me to leave my job, it put me in the place of, because I used to always say, I don't want to be 62 years old. I don't want to be 50, I don't want to be this age and still on this grind. There has to be
Yeah.
more to life than just this. So for us to come here and then to not have that income, but still be doing okay. That shows you that
Yeah.
it can be done.
Mm-hmm.
So again, for those of course who are listening in, you're wondering how, start trimming. Like, if you may not have the capital now, but you might if you make some adjustments now
And
where
that's
you
what
are.
I believe too. Like I told my daughter, I said, pray. If you want to leave and you can't figure out how,
Pray. Yes.
because I am fully convinced that it's the Most High's will.
Will.
Yes.
Yes.
So if He's going to make a way for you to do that.
Mhm.
So get out your own head.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and so that's important.
Yeah.
One of the other things too, if you're thinking about leaving, here there is no credit system.
Right.
So we don't have to go through, let me look at your credit. Oh, we're
That's
going to redline you here. It's pretty much, if you have the capital, you have the money, you find what you like, sign the contract, you move in.
That's it.
That's it. That's
Mm-hmm.
it.
That's it.
And since we're getting ready to wrap up, and I can say this because all three of us, Abi and Jay, Janie and Ben, Gwen and I, we have a company called S&J Management Consulting Company. If you need help, reach out to us. And the email for us is sjmgtconsultants@gmail.com.
And we'll put that in the show notes.
Yeah, just reach out to us, and we will do everything we can to help you. Make sure we are honest and right about by you, and we will do everything in writing, and we'll be transparent with you. So if you're serious about it, let us know, and then we'll talk, discuss, have a FaceTime, whatever we need to do, and help you guys out.
Absolutely.
I love it.
Amazing.
That's amazing. You guys, thank you so much for being here with us. You heard it from two of the best. It's time to come. It's time to be here, whether it's Rwanda or somewhere else on the continent. Like Brother Hamp said, they did their research. So, and when you do come, we are here to welcome you with open arms. So, thanks again for listening. Shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom. Thank you.
Shalom.